Meanwhile, let's change gears. A Fox News alert. DHS is now confirming moments ago there was a suspected ringleader accused in a plot to carry out a mass casualty attack on the UFC event at the White House last Sunday is an illegal immigrant. Abraham Alvarez, a 31-year-old from Mexico, who came here as a child, overstayed his visa, and then allowed to stay under the DACA program during the Obama administration, the so-called Dreamers. Former FBI investigator Bill Daley joins us now. Bill, this is a hideous plot. It looks as though there's some type of military in the background. It seems as though they've had a few phases to it, and now we find out an illegal is behind it. What's your conclusion?
Well, I kind of summed up with probably three words, chilling, stunning, and certainly gravely concerning. Brian, you just indicated that this individual, Alvarez, who I believe went by the handle as the Shepherd in this online chat through this encrypted app, was here overstaying his visa. We know that in 9/11, there were at least 5 or so of those hijackers who were here in the country who also overstayed their visa. So what have we not learned since that time? Brian, there are a number of different facets to this story, and a couple that kind of jump out at me, which are really significant. First of all, these were not just kids. These weren't kids fantasizing about a destiny down in their basement playing video games. These were people who were from 19 to early 30s who got together on an online chat. And at this point, there are 5 who've been arrested. There are apparently about 23 people in total who are on this chat, and they all came up with a sinister plan to attack the White House and the UFC event.
So here's what we know. They wanted to go out and start with attack drones. They also wanted to stage a fake protest. And then once the attack drone hit and panic would ensue, they were going to storm.
Low-cost, high-impact type of plan. If you look at it, the cost to assemble perhaps drones, which you buy at a hobby shop, the weapons that were acquired, which we believe were already acquired through some photos that were released by the DOJ in some of the indictments, is that this was not something where you could kind of follow the money, as we would say, in some larger terrorist plots. These were people kind of operating kind of below the radar, if you will, and coming up with a plan that would perhaps, if this case, Brian, if it didn't happen at the UFC event, these people could have gone on and be planning something at another event, whether it's a sporting event or some other political event. So to me, this went from aspirational to ongoing kind of operational aspects of this, because they were already acquiring some of the equipment needed. They had photos that they were looking at that were gleaned online where they're actually marking out, places where the snipers would be located and where the crowds would exit and where we'd have kind of a funnel point. So there was this level of kind of, let's say, sophistication. These were, amateurs, but amateurs are as dangerous as those people who are trained professionally.
So here's what Daniel Esker's group on the chat message said. This was on May 22nd. The goal here is to get at least 3 trigger event ops fully planned and manned, and to the best of our ability, have them executed on the same day or in rapid succession so that our message is undeniably clear to our illegitimate government and our fellow Americans that we are waging war. They're also called out AIPAC, Jews in particular, and people of wealth and influence. So this is very similar to what many on the left are running on, the oligarchy tour. You better, put your hand up if you're taking money from AIPAC. You better not if you're a Democrat. That seems to be some of the rhetoric adopted.
Mother of one of these individuals who notified the police, and then the FBI swiftly enacted in a very professional manner and intercepted and disrupted this plan. But it goes to show you is that of all these people, they were thinking like-mindedness. They were, and again, these are not just children. These are people who are adults who have been impacted, who have been, I'd say, kind of polluted by some of these views about anti-capitalism, anti-government.
Yep.
And they were looking to do something about it. And that's the scary thing, is that they were going about these plans. And again, as I said before, if it wasn't this event, perhaps it would have been at a different scale or at a different location. But they certainly appear to be intent on committing these acts.
All right. Thanks so much, Bill Daley. Appreciate it. Abraham Alvarez will be in court today. They got 5. They want to get as many as 23. We'll see if any of these guys.
Date, October 7th, 1996. Founders, Rupert Murdoch and Roger Ailes. Leadership, Lachlan Murdoch serves as the chairman and CEO of Fox Corporation, while Suzanne Scott is the CEO of Fox News Media. Political stance. The network is known for its conservative viewpoint. It was originally launched with the goal of providing an alternative to what its founders perceived as a liberal bias in mainstream media programming. Its content ranges from hard news reporting to opinion-based talk shows, which are often cited as the driving force behind its brand identity and high viewership. Context and impact. Market position. Fox News has consistently been one of the most watched cable news networks in the United States for over 2 decades. Influence. It plays a significant role in American political discourse and is often noted for its strong connection to the Republican Party and conservative political establishment. Controversies. Over its history, the network has faced various controversies, including allegations of biased reporting and legal challenges. Most notably, in 2023, the network reached a $787.5 million settlement with Dominion Voting Systems regarding false claims aired about the company's voting machines during the 2020 election. Audience research from organizations like the Pew Research Center indicates that the network's viewership tends to lean conservative, with older demographics being particularly likely to rely on it as a primary news source.